The journey was definitely not easy. Going from noob to smooth again in another game. Nothing can stop me from unlocking that crest. I had to use a lot of different characters. I had to make it splash with all of these different characters. You never know when you're gonna need to pull something out. Splash. Having fun with that storm swap. That's what I love about Loki. You just swap and have some fun. Even got to tank a little bit. Got to use a little Doctor Strange to clutch out the win. They didn't get the full 3 points. We're pushing. We got plenty of time too. We still got 2 minutes to get this done. You know, something light. Almost got knocked off the map. Actually, the left side is safe. It's the right side where you die. He's Groot ulting. I don't care about that. We still got our health. We got that healing, and we got the dub. We're going to clutch that one out. And now this game right here, this win is going to put me just one away. It's going to put me 90-something% to Grandmaster. Can you believe it? Grandmaster Smooth is upon us. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Going from noob to smooth. You love to see it. And I've actually gotten a lot of tips from the comment section of my videos. I posted a video where I was using Hulk, and I actually asked, how do I get that glitchy jump? And people told me, go into settings, change your controls so that the jump, you have to press it instead of hold it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Iron Man.
So I did that. I turned it on. I went into practice, and that is brilliant because you press the button and then it charges up the jump. And then you can still fight. You can throw punches. You can use all of your other cooldowns, all of your other abilities. And then when you're ready to jump again, you press the button again, and then you can jump. That's way better than having to hold down the button, because that gets complicated. Trying to hold down the button and then focus and multitask and press all the other buttons and not let your finger slip, because you might want to use that finger that's holding that button down to press something else. That's too complicated. It's so much better this way. You just press the button, go about your business. When it's time to jump, then just press it again and you jump, and it's going to be at full height, and then we can get really glitchy. So that's a great tip, and I've gotten so many great tips like that in the comments section for all the different characters that I'm using. And this is another good game where I do some good things and I also make some mistakes. You're going to see later on, I'm debating when should I use my ult, because we didn't have any enemies there. I'm trying to wait for it until we see some enemies, but then as soon as we see them, they start ulting and they stack theirs. So I gotta figure out what I want to do in a situation like that, because obviously I don't want to ult before I see them, because then you're gonna waste the ult, right? You don't want to do that. But sometimes I do wait around and then they go crazy, and then we don't have the advantage in that fight because they're stacking 2 to 3 back to back, and you don't really have room to go in unless you want to compete. You want to have competing ults, you can do that. But every day I'm learning something new, and even though I played a lot of hours this season, I might have watched just as many hours. I have been going back and watching a lot of gameplays, and that's why I was so impressed and amazed that their system works. Even games that I saved a long time ago, I can still go back and it plays them. You can see all the points of view. You can learn how people are having success with this character and that character. Very insightful information. And I'm going to need this information because I have to add some characters into my bag in order to get to the next level. Because the next level is crazy. The players are really good. You're going to start seeing goons out there. Mechanical goons. Fast aiming goons. Not just being smart, but just on the sticks, being able to go crazy. And then sometimes tactics are going to stop working.
No way Hawkeye just did me in like that.
Like when I start using Jeff, I have great games. But then as I'm rising, I'm going to get to a level where I can't even use Jeff's ult. I'm actually going to talk about Jeff's ult because you're going to see. You're going to see sometimes I use it, I do good. Sometimes I use it, it does nothing, it's useless. So there's going to be some brilliant ults, some game-saving ults, but then there's going to be somewhere you're going to be scratching your head like, what are you doing? But the funny thing is, as I continue to rise, there's going to come a point, damn, what a freeze from Hawkeye. There's going to come a point where the ult is basically useless because the players on the other team are so good that even if I take a few of their teammates, they just will not let me get to the edge of the map. They will kill me. And it happens every time. It's like, wow, every time I snatch them, their team is just ready and they kill me. I can't even take a few steps. Even though I'm underground, I can't even take a few steps. That's tough. That's very tough. And that's what's so amazing about this game, realizing how different it is based on the players that are in your games. It feels like I'm playing a totally different game when I'm in the higher lobbies. The problems that I had with the game, the beefs that I had with the game, a lot of them don't really exist when you have the higher tier players playing because they're smarter. It's not that big of a deal, but in the lower lobbies, it's hell. You're in some hell games because no one's doing the right thing. But then when you're playing with players that are doing the right thing, it's like a breath of fresh air. So with this series, it's fun for me, but I think it's going to be fun for you too, to be able to witness the difference. You're going to be seeing these games like, wow, this looks total. Look at the pressure, the intensity. Wow, that guy was already there. You can't do that. That doesn't work in these lobbies. It is ridiculous. And I've already said this before, but to me, the most amazing thing about the game in the higher lobbies is people they don't really have the ego. They're playing bad. They will switch off of a duelist. You never see that in the lower lobbies. You never see that duelist get off and go switch to a different role. They will do it. They want to win. People still get tilted. They do, but not at the level and not with the same intensity that you see in the lower levels, because it was really obnoxious. That 3-game losing streak really made me mad because I couldn't keep my rank because I kept getting so unlucky and the people were quitting. And in one game, there were 2 people that quit. There's nothing you can do. There really isn't. And now in the higher lobbies, I've only had one teammate quit. One out of all the games I played in there. So I'm sure that people are still quitting up there too, but it's not at that level at all. Like if you were to make a new account right now and go play in bronze, you're going to see hella people quit. People are quitting like crazy in bronze. They really are. And you know they're quitting in gold and even in plat. You don't really start to see that slow down until about diamond. At diamond, okay, see right here, I want to steal the ult, but we don't see anybody yet. Okay, now we see people. So now I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to use it soon. But then the other team right there, their Loki just stole it. And I'm just like, that's tough.
Loki, I needed you.
And right there, my teammates are like, no, Loki, I needed you. He's not like, Loki, you're trash, switch. People start to realize, hey, these are your teammates. If you flame them, that's not going to make them play better. You gotta do it in an encouraging way. You got to say, I needed you. You let me down. Something like that. Don't say, oh, you're trash, switch off. Say something like, hey, Star-Lord, do you know how to play this character? I think that would work better. Or something like, hey, maybe you could switch to this character because then you'll enable the team up and you'll get a damage boost and then this will do better for them and we'll be better. See, they say stuff like that. They start to talk like that. You never hear stuff like that in the lower levels. In the lower levels, it's just all flaming. It's just bad. It really is. And then what happens is when you talk like that to people, they get upset and they're like, you know what? I want you to lose now. I'm going to throw. You're making me uncomfortable, so now I'm going to give you a loss and I'm going to throw. But see here, if you talk like this, people aren't going to throw. You're going to say, okay, let me see what I can do. Maybe I can switch to that other character. Let's get this team up going. Maybe that team up boost is going to give us the edge. And I'm sure there's still some cheese going on in the higher ranks as well, but it's nowhere near what it was in the lower levels. The frequency of people throwing and tilting, it was just so high in the lower levels. So I'm glad that I got to experience this totally different game when you rise up a little bit. It's crazy. We did such a good job on defense that we are about to win this thing right here. This is easy work. And this win is going to put me at 90-something%, 1 win away from Grandmaster Smooth. Are you excited? Are you just as hype as I am? What a game and what a journey. Grandmaster Smooth is coming up next. Why not skip ahead a little bit? I didn't show too much of the journey in Diamond. I did show some good games. I had a lot of overtime games that I showed you. And really, I've been showing you a lot of Loki gameplay too. There's still gonna be some Loki gameplay. But I do use other players as well. I have to. Because you gotta continue to evolve. You gotta continue to add to your game to get better, to win some of these games, because you need different players and different strategies out there. So we're gonna make it happen. But look at that stat sheet. My teammates were going crazy in this one. We had good heals, we had good DPS. You love to see it when that pops. And he was going crazy. That Mr. Fantastic, woo! He put up 40 kills, something light. And there we go, 94 out of 100 to Grandmaster. Give that guy a map. Merch is now available at chrissmooth.com, shipping worldwide. My songs, He Quit the Game, Lob City, and My Camo are now available on all streaming platforms. But look what I'm gonna do to that. I'm gonna block that dunk. Get that cheese out of here. When I did that, I said, all right, Cap might be the character for me. What rhymes with cash? I just put Doctor Strange to the floor.